other invited senior guests here, students, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I am in an ethical dilemma now as to what to speak. Professor Rizvi had asked me to make a short summary of Mr. Lahiri's speech. I said, while speaking, I'll refer to that also. The dilemma starts from, see, I always look to make, just now Professor Agarwal gave a PPT presentation. I also wanted to have something like that so we would remain focused and would speak on something very specific. That didn't happen. As a result, what I am going to do is to give my own thoughts on what has been discussed from this morning till now. That's I jotted down some points. Some are maybe a repetition later, but anyway, I'll be doing it in my own context. When we talk about leadership, entrepreneurship, academics, ethical dilemma, decision making, all these are reflected in the society if you just look around. You just have to look around. Whatever you see in terms of physical existence and also the soft existence in terms of ideas, ideologies, and reflections, all these are the results of the process that has taken place in the minds of people. And that is what is the visible, tangible result of the leaderships and entrepreneurship and decision making. So when I look at it, I am able to coin now, just like Philip Kotler has talked about you're all MBA students? Yes? Some others are also there. Right. You might have heard that Philip Kotler has spoken about the 4 P's of marketing. Right? So let me say now the 3 D's of leadership and entrepreneurship. This is my own coinage. What do I mean by 3D? The first D stands for dreaming. The second D stands for doing. And the third D stands for delivery. When all these 3 Ds interact and function in the society, you would get all that you see around. So I also talk about the entire population, which can be divided into 3 groups. Who are they? Number 1, those who make things happen. The first group is those who make things happen. The second group is those who watch things happen. And the third group is those who wonder what has happened. Right? Now, the first group belongs to the leadership group. They are the leaders. They are the entrepreneurs. And the second 2, those who watch and those who wonder, are the laggers. They are the followers. They just have seen, they'll do whatever has been told to them because nothing else has come into their brain. So, I always say, I used to tell my students when I was in the class, the entire result can be viewed as success, for which there must be 4 elements. Number 1, an idea. Number 2, an initiative. Number 3, efforts. And then in bracket number 4, the chance of happening. Then the result comes. So I say, a sort of an arithmetical formula can be given. I plus E bracket L is F. The first I stands for idea. The second I stands for initiative. The third E stands for effort. And the bracket L stands for the lady luck. Because there is always a chance. We did in the Chandrayaan 2 mission, what did we do? We wanted to have something different from the rest of the world. We tried to send it first, it couldn't. Then second time, we succeeded. It went up because we wanted to go to the south pole of moon, not to the places where other people have gone, right? ISRO did it. So it was its idea. It was its initiative. They put in effort also. Unfortunately, it didn't succeed. That's where luck comes. Why that luck? Perhaps we have not worked out the gravitational force in that particular location. That's how scientists are explaining. But we are going to succeed eventually, because we will find out what has gone wrong where, and we will make corrections of that also. So the effort is what comes as success, and the success is what you see around. You won't see the failures. Will you see the failures? Had we succeeded, we would have been on moon, or Chandrayaan would have been there. But we have not been able to locate Vikram, right? Yes, sir. That's where we fail. So we are not able to see it. Whatever we see around is success. That is the result of your idea, plus initiative, plus effort, plus luck, and you got the success. May this be this university. Yesterday in the convocation, the chief guest, Dr. S. Ayyappan, was, you see, eulogizing and telling how this university has grown, and he has given a small formula saying what? The rate of growth of the university shows where we have succeeded. That means in a very short period of time, such a huge campus has come up that reflects on the leadership of the university. I mean, there are quite a lot of things which I thought I would, what's the time available to me for speaking? Excuse me, how much time I can speak? 5 minutes more. Oh, 5 minutes more. I don't know, I need to wind up. So that, on all that has been said, I wanted to reflect. Well, the time limit is there. I don't want to jump the time. I'm always one who keeps to my limits. And when I heard Professor Ashraf Rizvi quoting a story of his life, I remembered about another story. There are so many Muslims here. How many of you have heard about Abdul Qadir Jilani Rahmatullahi Alayh? Anybody? There is a story, a similar story of what Ashraf Zaidi has said. That is, when he was a child, his mother had taught him to tell truth always, never to speak an untruth any time, and he grew up like that. And once he was asked to go to the town from his village, and the mother gave something wound up in a small packet, asked for his expenses, some money and some food and all that. On the way, he was confronted by some thugs like the gangsters of Ashraf Rizvi's village. And they asked him, surrender all that you have. Asked, what do you have? He said, I have this much. Surrender. He simply surrendered. And the same thing happened. When the story went to the chieftain asked, called him and said, why did you tell this truth? And if you had told that you have nothing, we would have allowed you to go. You are a small child. But why did you tell the truth? He said, my mother has taught me never to tell a lie. And so I said, whatever I have submitted. He was allowed to go thereafter. I mean, similar things which have happened several hundred years ago happen even now. So I always tell my students in the class, honesty is the best policy. Even as a policy, honesty is good for us, all of us. And when it comes to decision making, well, in fact, I had noted out even before Mr. Lahiri was telling about it, I noted the example of Mr. Narasimha Rao, who is well known for that. And when it comes to decision making, two people have said the same thing. One, Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Two, Naval Tata. You know what they said? I do not believe in taking the right decision. Both of them have said. One said much earlier because Jinnah is senior, Naval Tata is junior, so we don't know who quoted whom. But they said, what is that? We don't take, or each one said, I don't believe in taking the right decision. I take a decision and make it right. That's how. And Muhammad Ali Jinnah said, think 100 times before you take a decision. But once you take a decision, stand by it as one man. So great people, I mean, we may have a difference of opinion with Muhammad Ali Jinnah for his role in partition. Okay? But he by himself is a leader of his own group. So as a great man, what he said is relevant in the context of the talk on decision making. See, this question of idea is very important. You can get ideas only while you dream. That is why I said you have to be a dreamer if you really want to be a leader. Dreamer doesn't mean, as APJ Abdul Kalam has rightly said, one who sees the dream while sleeping. But dream is that which does not allow you to sleep at all. I have heard about the example of our Chancellor, Mr. Wasim Akhtar, who had to leave his sleep on several nights because he started this campus with 4 students and 5,000 rupees, you know. And today, the whole campus is not less than some 4,000 crores of rupees. What's the amount? 4,000 crores of rupees starting with 5,000. Today, this university has about 12,000 students, 120 courses spread across 120 acres of land, all in a very short period. Miraculous. And that miracle can happen only if you have a person who is committed to achieving it. And that is the person whom we call as a leader. Don't have to go for defining leadership, decoding leadership, giving any semantic interpretation of the words. Whatever they do, I have traveled with Mr. Wasim Akhtar to some foreign countries. I have seen him how very meticulously he used to take care of the people, not the important people, even the people who are not very important. Even here he does it. So we can write down all those traits, all those happenings, all those actions which people take, and then codify them and say, this is how a leader behaves. He is not a neta. The kind of netas that we have now, they are not the leaders. The ones who make things happen, they are leaders. So, I am going to wind up. We will say, in short, that we need to dream about something good which can bring in to the society, that can leave an impact for years to come. In our community we say sadaqatul jariyah. That means sadaqah, that gift that you give, which will continue with you even after you are gone from this world. And these are all examples of that sadaqatul jariyah. So that's very important, let me tell you. You all need to have. I remember, you see, a South Indian dancer in Andhra Pradesh, his name is Chiranjeevi. He used to get up in the night, he will have a notebook alongside when he sleeps, and sometimes he will get some new dancing steps. He will note it down because he should not forget it in the morning. So, the dream is really important, and that dream has to be one that you see for the type of change that you can bring to the society. If you are able to do it, you are a leader, and that which you do is leadership. And every leadership has got an enterprise because there is a risk involved, and every entrepreneur has got leadership in it. Okay, that has been discussed by all the great writers on the issue. That's not the context now, so I am not going to delve into all that. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity to speak to you. And the Integral University, Department of Commerce and Management, and its Dean, Dr. Saxena, for inviting me. Thanks again.